Hey there everyone, AJ back again for the Mighty Gluestick channel. I make videos about Dungeons & Dragons lore full-time and have a collection of hundreds of monster ecology and strategy videos on my channel. If you like what I do, please consider subscribing, as I upload at least twice a week, and consider becoming a patron. This week's video is a direct request from a patron. There are few things more terrifying in the multiverse than either an entire armada of Mindflayer Nautiloid ships dropping down out of the sky in an unsuspecting city, or a full-on invasion by a demon horde. When the incursion of demonic forces becomes so pervasive that a concentrated breakthrough tears a hole right through from the abyss into that plane of reality, the demons are drawn to the intense energies of destruction that they can sense keenly, like sharks flocking toward the heady scent of blood in the water, converging on a dead whale for a feeding frenzy. Those few who have survived and escaped from such an event as a demonic riot spilling through into the world or plane will report on seeing a great mass of mutant, shrieking and roaring, disgusting spawn spilling through like someone just upended a huge, sloppy barrel of slime and maggots. A cloud of noxious gases will choke the whole zone in cloying mist that swirls at waist height, concealing a lot of the writhing and crawling, mewling and vicious ground scum. While rising and staggering over them, slavering and chattering, are the twisted formers of Ruttikin and the many nameless variants of the lesser demons. Then, with crouching strides and crunching steps, crushing lesser demons under their taloned feet and hooves, come the greater demons, spoiling for some mass murder. They quickly assess the scene and target locations where their particular talents can render the most devastation. As they charge off, the massive demon scum surge along with them, creating spearheads of larger demons with a tide of lessers in their wake, ready to flood into any breached defences or through broken walls and barriers. This is enough to render most mortal habitations into killing grounds pretty quickly and efficiently. Though the demons kill a lot of their own lesser kin off in the process, they respawn back in the abyss, so they not only don't care, they delight in it, picking up and hurling lesser demons, maggots, manes, dretches and ruddikins over walls, through windows, into masses of town guards, soldiers, armies. Most will be obliterated, but some will do their damage for sure. Mortal accounts of these invasions are pretty sketchy from this point on. They typically report that when the greater demons show up, the chances of turning the tide back by means of force of arms or holding out by way of fortified defences is a lost cause. Any martial power directed at the demons just seems to feed into their terrible ferocity. Mortals are just unable to match the mindless total brutality and complete lack of restraint of the demons. But not just that. They are confronted by how the demons are killing their allies, companions, friends and families, pets, livestock, wildlife, even plants get torn to shreds. The demons, if they have the opportunity, inflict shockingly cruel wounds on creatures they know will suffer the most and put them on full display before the mass of defenders, goading the conflict with emotional fuel of righteous fury that feeds the violence and eradicates any semblance of order in their defenders. There are no greater experts in the ecology of the demon hordes and their masters than the forces of the Nine Hells. You can be sure, as they are creatures of rigid and unyielding law, that their knowledge is very well documented, even if nearly inaccessible thanks to a mountain of vicious red tape and bureaucracy. Devils rarely bother perusing the texts of mortal scholars in regard to demons. They will be more interested in predictions and prophecy, signs and portents. These are things that come to mortals that quite often skip over demons, and so they keep their radar open. They are not interested in the limited understanding the mortals have on the matter, infused with so much superstition and concealment that it's little better than gibberish anyway. What devils may reveal, if asked very politely, is that the great mistake that most mortals make is thinking that Balors are in charge of the demon hordes, and aside from the demon lords, they must be the most formidable of the greater demons. This, they will say, is not true. The most formidable kind of demon that any force of devils can face in the field of battle in the Blood War is the Klurichir, the perfect tanar'ri. When the Queen of Chaos made her dramatic play for reign over the new, obliterated and befouled universe, remade according to the twisted and alien desires of the Obrith invaders, she betrayed the supreme authority of Obuxob and recruited the Cybriacs to spawn a new breed of demons, the tanar'ri. In her efforts to craft the perfect engines of destruction, she created far more types of demon than have thus far been catalogued, but those who were the most effective became more commonly known, we know of the Adaru, the Alkalith, the Alofiend, the Anzu, the Ammonite, Arrow Demons, Babao, Baelor, Baraglura, Baluzao, the many forms of Cambion, the Cerebrillith, the Chasme, the Dretch, the Glacro, the Glabrizu, the Goristro, the Hezro, the Jarolith, the Javok, the Castigur, the Calvizu, the Main, the Marilith, the Marizi, the Molidus, the Myrmexicus, the Nabazu, the Nalfishni, the Orlath, the Pelrethi, the Rutikin, the Skircher, the Sulamith, the Succubus, the Tarageth, Shni, the Eridizu, the Vathogu, the Vrock, and even the Okolol. And I have a whole lot more videos to make for this series, including more than just the tanar'ri kind. Still, a great deal of time has passed, and the politics of the Abyss are by their very nature very chaotic. The original leadership of the demons fell to the wolf spider Mishka and his spider fiends, but the greater demons of the tanar'ri had one breed that were so outstanding that they served as the personal envoys of the Oberth Lords themselves, and it was not until the demonic host had poured into a region and softened it up with random and wild fits of destruction that the true destroyers stepped through the portal, and any non-demons in sight knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that what had come before was just a precursor to the main event. The Klurichir are quite unlike anything else. They are said to have manifested from the deepest layers of the Abyss. Somehow, the shard of ultimate evil infused by both pure Oberth energy and part of Tharizdun's desire for consistency and his power to look beyond the chaos, beyond the demonic drive for constant infighting, and towards the outer multiverse and the primary purpose of the Oberth, which is to tear it down and remake the multiverse as the demons see fit. Klurichir are so powerful they are considered by many to be proto-demon lords, and it may be that they are only technically tanar'ri as they were spawned within the Abyss, but it seems to me that they were not the Queen of Chaos's direct doing. They are an example she witnessed of how the entire process of spawning the tanar'ri could work. This lore is questionable, however, and maybe just lies and myths spread by the demons and Yuloths to conceal some deeper truth. What we do know, though, is that Klurichir are massive, horrific beings, standing over 30 feet or 9.1 meters tall, with an immense wingspan of 60 feet or 18.2 meters, skin like that of a frostbitten corpse, grey or black, with twitching and writhing things under the surface, while coarse and rough patterns of scars, growths, and sometimes the absorbed or attached faces of other demons are somehow grafted into them or onto them. Rather than hair, a mane of spikes and spines covers their body. Often this is a greenish colour running down from their face and shoulders. They have 4 arms that are almost they are mobile with a life of their own, as it's been observed that a Klurichir may lash out and kill another being without really noticing what its arm has done. So the entire body is infused with bloodlust. Their legs are proportionately shorter than that of a Baelor, though thicker and with wide feet and heavy talons, and of course they tower over the Baelor. A pair of red, membranous, bat-like wings grow out of their back, fully functional. They not only use them to fly, but like the Baelor, the wings become a weapon, sweeping victims off their feet, battering aside missiles, and even lancing out to spear small targets with the barbed tips. Their head is said to look like a monstrous orc, but elongated like that of a mule, with massive fangs and a mouth that opens very wide. Their eyes, while not glowing with infernal power, are pitch black like a shark. In the middle of their abdomen, a huge slobbering mouth yawns wide, filled with rows of teeth, a pair of shredded and snarling lips, a prehensile tongue, and at its sides, insectoid pincers which are always moving along with the mouth, which even when the massive demon is fully at rest, a rare occurrence, still mumbles and drools. When the Klurichir speaks, it does so over the booming croak of incomprehensible nonsense coming from the lower mouth. When in the pitch of battle, the large mouth howls and the pincers snap and clack in time with the monster's demonous movements. It has been said that fighting for so long and so well, the movements of this creature almost are like watching a skilled martial artist performing a combat kata. Klurichir are incredibly ancient. They are well known by the more powerful demons, who know better than to ignore any issue or order issued by one, because the punishment for disobedience is tyrannical retribution. Even Baelors think twice about even hesitating, as many of them have been in the receiving end of Klurichir's wrath in their long lives, busting them back down to a lesser state, and fully understand that as powerful as they are, the Klurichir are on another league of their own, and they risk their own destruction, even as they would if going against the dominant will of a demon lord. Klurichirs don't care a jot for the lives of any lesser demons who serve them. They have no fear and throw waves of their vassal soldiers into any battle assured of their power. If they fail and the battle is lost, they turn their attention to singling out the demons they find responsible, weed the herd, and entertain themselves with the torture and consumption of their inferiors. It never even occurs to them that any failure could be their responsibility, nor do the demon lords that they serve ever reprimand them, as the Klurichir may just decide to demonstrate their power personally. Within a dozen feet of them, lesser beings are subject to a supernatural aura of terror, like an ancient dragon's projects dragon fear. They are not only very physically powerful, they have an arsenal of magical powers that behave like those of a sorcerer and derive the power from the shard of ultimate evil itself. I hesitate here to provide converted stats for these monsters. They're so diverse, as they should be a couple of notches above a Balor and a notch or two below the true power of a demon lord. I mean, former deposed demon lords sometimes survive to serve in the hordes under the Klurichir's command. What I can do is give you a grab bag of their sort of special features that the average Klurichir can reveal in combat. First, they have a supernatural aura of terror, as mentioned. Second, they may make use of artifact-level heavy weapons, such as great axes, which they greatly favour, making multiple attacks with them each round and bonus attacks during their opponent's turns during the round. But their own claw and bite attacks actually have the vorpal quality, so on rolls of natural 20, they sever limbs and decapitate opponents. Klurichir are well known for actually biting the heads off their underlings and enemies alike. The big mouth in their gut can unleash a howl of pure rage that inflicts psychic damage over a wide area. Any creature, even most demons, can be hurt by this. It is capable of pulping the brains of most normal mortal creatures. They radiate the power of the evil shard. No being within 30 feet of them can regenerate hit points, even via magical means. Their attacks are considered magical, and only magical weapons can harm them. They are, like all demons, completely immune to poison, and their breath is a poisonous mist, over a very short range, functioning like a cloud kill spell effect. They are immune to charm and fear attacks, and any effects, magic or otherwise. They take half damage from cold, fire, lightning, and even acid attacks. They have advantage on all saving throws versus all magical and spell attack effects. They move at 40 feet per round on the ground and fly at 60 feet per round. They're not very agile in flight, so without benefit of their dexterity bonus. All of their stats should be over 15 at least. Their physical power is variable. When at rest, they have a lower strength and constitution score but higher dexterity, slightly. When in the heat of combat, they have a higher strength and constitution and reduced dexterity. They don't have true sight but have blind sight out to 60 feet, even in the obscuring mists, fires, and flashes of battle, seeming to see through the eyes of lesser demons in their immediate vicinity. It's unknown what other powers of dominion over other demons in the horde that they have, but they can certainly command them to do anything, including charge directly into a line of fire, even if it means their destruction. They have a full arsenal of high-level sorcery and magic and abilities, as though they had character class levels as sorcerers. They do not grant powers to warlocks as patrons. Unlike other tanar'ri, who seem to have lost the power to teleport, the Klurichir can teleport magically along with any equipment worn anywhere within 120 feet that they can see, as long as it's an unoccupied space, recharging on a roll of 5 or 6 on a d6 at the start of the round and counting as part of their movement action. They have a high armor class, probably 20, and they have a lot of hit points, at least 500. They should be over challenge rating 20. They speak abyssal, mindless gibberish, and have 120-foot telepathy. Work out ahead of time what sort of magical items they'll be carrying, using, and wearing. They have been around for a very long time. They are the pinnacle fighting units and leaders of the demon horde, just below the demon lords themselves, and they will have signature items, including artifact-level items that they have used and owned and are well known for the last thousands of years. They are, in a word, formidable. in a full-on clash between demons and devils. These are the demons that the pit fiends organise their strategy around. They keep as close tabs on the activities of the Klurichir as they can, because where they go, the major clashes and campaigns of the Blood War follow. Celestial forces keep tabs on them, and in the very few times in history where major battles have broken out, actually pitching demons and angels in open conflict, the Klurichir have known to throw down and kill a few planetars in one-on-one combat. Though even the Klurichir know better than to try that with the Solar Angel, as they find it hard to contend with the ability of the Solar to whittle down their hit points and then sink one of their holy slaying arrows right into them. Plus, Solars, as with most angels, are highly mobile and coordinated in battle. They strike very hard, and then they just take off before a proper counter-offensive can even land on them, regrouping and regenerating any hit points well out of the demon's reach. Klurichir typically only show up when a demon lord has taken a direct interest in the theatre of conflict. They are there to prepare the ground for the demon lord to walk on, and are entrusted with the entire resource of the horde under their command, as the presence of a Klurichir in the retinue of a demon lord is also what draws a large number of those lesser demon forces to them anyway. As long as the Klurichir survives, and they typically do, they can always rebuild their hordes. The Klurichir are at the foremost strategic tool set that the demon lords have in their wars with other demon lords, as it allows them to spread their forces in multiple fronts without personal risk. But the Klurichir are also tactical geniuses, and have little patience for demon lords who send them on ill-considered missions. Such as the reputation and power of the Klurichir, they are quite capable of turning on a weak demon lord, as sometimes all they need to do is sit back and do nothing, and wait for the full plans to collapse, and then move in for the kill, switching sides to join with more capable demon lords in their long-term goal of destroying the multiverse and replacing with nothing but the endless abyss. Please hit the like button if you've made it this far. Subscribe if you like what I do. Check out my Patreon for some exclusive content, the ability to request scripts like this, and all the full scripts for my videos. Buy some merchandise. Check out the deal, 10% off the D&D WoW metal dice sets. Wear your geek with pride, buy something from Teespring, and as always, thanks for listening, and I'll be back with more for you very soon.